The colors you see in the photographs and the films can completely change the way you feel about them. There are lots of different colors, and understanding how to use them is exactly what color theory is all about. After watching this video, you won't instantly become a master of color theory, but you will get a direction on how to use it for your own photography and filmmaking. Hey guys, I'm Saurav. Welcome to the channel. Today in this video, as you saw, we are going to talk about color theory. The one tool that we are going to use throughout the video is the color wheel. Before we jump into color theory, let's see how the color wheel is formed. There are three primary colors: red, blue and yellow. You mix them, you get secondary colors. Mix those again and you get tertiary colors. Hope you get the point. Color theory is simply about understanding how these colors relate to each other. If you have used Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere Pro or basically any software that can color grade, you might have come across these three terms: hue, saturation and luminance. These three things are what make up a color. What is hue? It's simply the color itself. Name any color: red, orange, blue. You will be correct. Pun intended. Sorry for the bad joke. Basically, hue is the name of the color, as simple as that. Saturation is the intensity of the color. This is pure blue. As I reduce the saturation, it goes towards grey. But notice one thing. If I use a darker blue, it goes towards black, and lighter blue goes towards white. Why is that? That is because of the third component, lightness, also known as luminance, meaning how bright or dark the color is. The reason why luminance is so important is because it mainly controls the contrast between the colors. You see a good separation between the background and the subject? That is because of the luminance difference. Simple trick: convert your image into black and white. If everything looks flat, it means there is not much of luminance contrast. Colors don't just make your images look good. Different colors feel different. What I feel right now is I should thank the sponsors of the video, Storyblocks. That was not smooth, right? But what will be smooth is your workflow once you start using Storyblocks. The clips you see in the video, most of them are not shot by me. I went on Storyblocks and simply searched for colors. You have this huge library of high quality assets, and guess how many number of assets you can download? Unlimited. That's right. Everything you need, videos, templates, even the music I'm using in this video is from Storyblocks. There is no hidden fees. You can choose either from a monthly or an annual subscription, and you get access to all the unlimited assets made by real artists. You don't have to worry about the copyright strikes as well. You can download the assets straight away, use it in your projects. As a content creator, I've been using Storyblocks for a lot of years for all the videos that you see on this channel, and I'm super grateful for them to sponsor this video. To check out Storyblocks, you can go on storyblocks.com/Saurav or click the link in the description below. Back to color theory. We were talking about how different colors feel different. Now, here are some color associations. For example, red can be about passion, energy. Blue can be about stability, trust. But it can also mean isolation. These are great to keep in mind as guidelines, but at the end, these are just on-paper associations. It need not always be true. Doesn't mean if you use red, you cannot show luxury. If you use blue, it will always mean isolation. At the end, color theory is a theory and it need not always be practical. How do you use these guidelines? We will be talking about that at the later part of the video. For now, let's focus on building the basics. And I want you to pay extremely close attention to all the basics, because we are going to use everything that we have learned at the end of the video to understand how to use it in real life. When composing an image, if there's too much of clutter, you might not understand what's going on. That is where having a bit of space helps, which is also known as breathing or negative space. Same thing applies to colors as well. If everything in the frame is super saturated and vibrant, the viewer might get confused about what to focus on. Instead, if some colors are comparatively more saturated than others, the eyes will naturally be drawn to them. So let's divide the frame into two groups: saturated colors and neutral colors. You can think of saturated colors as the main subject and neutral colors as the negative space. These will help the viewer understand where to look and what to focus on. Just like in composition, not every element should compete for attention. Usually, one or two colors can dominate while the other colors can play supporting roles. This creates balance, prevents chaos, and the frame feels more intentional. Colors can basically be divided into two groups, warm colors and cool colors. Basically, we are using color temperature to differentiate the colors. A simple way to understand is, warmer colors have lower temperatures and cooler colors have higher temperatures. It might be a bit confusing because it's the exact opposite of how white balance is represented in camera, but don't focus on the numbers. What matters is, warm colors are your reds, oranges and yellows. Cool colors are your blues, greens and purples. A simple way to figure out is just draw a line across the color wheel and you get your warm and cool colors. You can either stick to warm or cool colors completely, but it's not mandatory. You can use a combination of both as well to create contrast. For example, the famous teal and orange look works because it's a contrast between warm and cool colors. Skin tones usually fall on the warm side, while the background or the shadows can be pushed towards the teal side. Separating the color wheel into warm and cool colors is a good way to develop an understanding on how to use the colors together, but let's take this a step forward. Let's learn about color harmony. Basically, it's a way of choosing colors from the color wheel that somehow relate to each other. You can think of this as a cheat sheet. The first one is monochrome. Very simple, just uses one color. And do not confuse monochrome with black and white. Monochrome can be any color and can be different shades of it. Very simple, minimal, but looks very powerful. The second one is complementary. As the name suggests, complementary means opposite. So, you select two colors that are opposite of each other in the color wheel. The teal and orange look that we just talked about before is an example of complementary colors. Analogous sits in between, three colors side by side, giving a much more natural look that feels easy on the eyes. As I said before, this is a cheat sheet. You can think of this as guidelines. You don't have to always stick to it, but it can be a good starting point in deciding what colors to go for. We have learned enough of the basics, now let's see how to use them in real life. The first step, while framing your shot, you can be more mindful about the colors in the frame. You can ask yourself which colors are helping my subject to stand out and which colors are distracting, and thereby go about your composition. If you're shooting portraits, one of the most important decisions is what outfits to select. Depending on the location, depending on the mood you're going for, depending on the color scheme, the decision of outfits becomes more intentional and easier. Side note, even if you're not shooting portraits, your dressing sense will improve if you know about color theory. You're welcome. If you're shooting products or food, you have to make sure the colors you use help the subject to pop and not blend in with the background. How to decide which colors to go for? That is exactly where all the theory we have learned comes together. Let's say you're shooting a product that has color X and you're going for a complementary color harmony. You can then select the color Y based on the color wheel. You don't have to use everything that we have learned about color theory for every single shot. Initially, yes, I agree, it might be a bit overwhelming, but with practice and intention, things will get easier. One of the most common things I've observed among successful professional photographers is they have a consistent visual style. And style need not always be about framing or the gear that you use. Color actually plays a huge role in that. Once you start planning a project, think about the client's goals. What is the story you want to tell? What is the emotion you want to evoke? This decision will directly influence the choice of colors for your project. And don't make the mistake of not experimenting. Yes, developing a style is important, but if you don't experiment, you won't learn and you won't improve your work. I don't just want you guys to watch this video and forget about it. I want you to watch this video, take notes, implement them in real life, and come back and reflect on your work. Two benefits. One is you analyze your work and you see the room for improvement. Two, I get more number of views. Just kidding. Thanks for watching this video, guys. That's it from this video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from it. Thank you Storyblocks for sponsoring this video and making this video possible. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel for more such content. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.